The Haunting of the Old House on Maple Street. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, there was an old house on Maple Street that had been abandoned for decades. It had a reputation in the community as the haunted house, and every Halloween, local children dared each other to go inside. Most never made it past the front door, but the legend persisted. One Halloween night, a group of teenagers decided to take on the challenge. Sarah, Mike, Emma, and Mark, armed with flashlights and a shaky sense of bravery, gathered at the front steps of the old house. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, casting eerie shadows that made the house appear even more menacing. Sarah was the first to step inside. The creaking wooden floorboards added to the spine-chilling atmosphere. The air was cold and damp, and cobwebs hung in every corner. They cautiously explored room after room, finding old, dusty furniture covered in white sheets and faded wallpaper peeling from the walls. As they ventured deeper into the house, they heard strange, whispering voices and a faint sound of footsteps. Panic spread among the group, but they pressed on, determined to prove that the rumors were just superstition. In the attic, they discovered a locked door. It was covered in strange symbols and etchings, which sent shivers down their spines. Mark, the most fearless of the group, managed to pick the lock. The door creaked open to reveal a hidden room filled with dusty old books, some written in languages they couldn't understand. They picked up one of the books and started to read aloud from it. Suddenly, the room grew colder, and an eerie presence filled the air. Books flew off the shelves, and the whispering voices grew louder. The teenagers screamed and fled the attic, slamming the door behind them. Back in the main hallway, they noticed that the house itself seemed to be changing. The walls pulsated, and the very structure seemed to come alive. In a panic, they ran for the front door, but it had disappeared. They were trapped inside the living nightmare of the old house. As they huddled together in terror, a figure appeared before them. It was a ghostly figure of a woman, draped in a flowing white gown. She seemed sad, not malevolent. She spoke in a soft, mournful voice, telling them her tragic tale of a lost love and an eternal curse that bound her to the house. Filled with empathy, the teenagers promised to help break the curse. They followed her guidance, finding a hidden locket in the attic that contained a piece of her lost love's hair. With the locket in hand, they performed a ritual to set her spirit free. As they completed the ritual, the house shook violently, and a blinding light enveloped them. When it cleared, they found themselves standing outside the old house, which now appeared peaceful and ordinary. The curse was broken, and the ghostly woman was finally free. From that day on, the old house on Maple Street was no longer haunted. The teenagers had a chilling Halloween adventure they would never forget, and the community celebrated their bravery. It became a symbol of how even the most frightening legends could have a kernel of truth and a deeper, more compassionate story behind them.